is another Washington power player from Cleveland to tell you about tonight. His name, Don Graves, and he's the new Deputy Secretary of Commerce. His journey is nothing short of fascinating and inspiring. Mark Namick tells us about it.
Don is a long-time and trusted advisor.
The two met years ago in the White House when Graves, working for President Obama, ran into then Vice President Joe Biden.
I was just coming up the stairwell and we literally crashed into one another. I was certain that the Secret Service was going to take me out and put me in some facility that you wouldn't hear from me again. But the then Vice President said, "Hey man, I'm so sorry." He was apologetic for being the one to crash into me. Couldn't have diffused the situation any better. And that was really the start of what's been a great relationship between the two of us.
President Obama entrusted Graves with heading efforts to create jobs. The vice president tapped him to lead Detroit out of bankruptcy. Today, as Deputy Secretary of Commerce, Graves shares the burden of helping rebuild the pandemic-stricken economy and boosting small businesses.
It's both about my ability to continue to do what I've done throughout my career, which is try to find ways to make sure that there's broad-based economic opportunity for the country.
The job deeply personal. Graves is the four-time great-grandson of Lynch and Polly Wormley, former slaves who started a horse and buggy taxi service in D.C. Their stable and living quarters on the very land on which the Commerce Department now sits and Graves works.
So it feels like it's full circle. They had the ability to start their business and provide for their family. And I'm coming back to those same roots where I can do the same thing for all Americans, give people the opportunity to start and grow businesses.
Racial tension in D.C. fueled his ancestors' move to Cleveland, where Graves was born. It was on a trip to Cleveland aboard Air Force One when President Obama unexpectedly asked Graves to head his job creation efforts. Trying to digest the gravity of the new responsibility, Graves stared out the window.
I'm literally looking down at the neighborhoods in which I grew up. I can see the blocks where I used to ride my bike or play ball with the kids in the neighborhood. And it just hit me at that point that there are kids down there today that are looking up and they see this plane, but they have no connection to what it can mean for their lives. So it sort of drove home the point that I needed to do everything that I could to make certain that we found ways to help bring home that economic opportunity.
As Deputy Commerce Secretary, Graves still carries the same sense of responsibility.
It's the potential that all Americans have if they just get a fair shot. And that's what I hope to do in this position.
Mark Namick, 3 News.